What if Seong Gi-hun, the only survivor of 456 souls, boarded that plane? After surviving the deadliest game of his life, Seong Gi-hun walked out of the Squid Game with 45.6 billion won.
You're the reason I got through this round.
Enough to change his life, his family's future, and anything he ever dreamed of. But instead of moving on, he froze. He didn't touch the money. He didn't celebrate. He didn't even tell anyone. For an entire year, he lived like a ghost. The game had ended, but in his mind, it never really did. Now think about this. What if he never went back? What if Gi-hun walked away from the phone call, boarded that plane, and disappeared into a quiet life far away from the game? What would that choice change? Who would take his place? And would the darkness behind Squid Game ever be exposed? This isn't just a what-if story. It's a look into the hidden consequences of a single decision. Because in the Squid Game universe, even silence echoes. And sometimes the most dangerous move is doing nothing at all.
Oh, Sang-woo, my man!
Then the game begins.
Got caught.
1. The butterfly effect. One decision, countless ripples. When Gi-hun decided to turn back at the airport, everything changed. But what if he didn't? What if he simply got on the plane to see his daughter and left the past behind? It sounds peaceful, but in the world of Squid Game, that choice would have had serious consequences. The games were not over. In fact, they were just getting ready for a new round. Without Gi-hun trying to stop them, the organization would continue to grow stronger. More players would be recruited, more lives lost, and the people behind the games would stay hidden. One quiet choice could mean hundreds of others would suffer. It's like throwing a small stone into a pond. The ripples spread out far and wide. Gi-hun's silence would become a ripple that helps the system survive. He wouldn't just be walking away from a game. He'd be turning his back on everyone else still trapped in it. Sometimes doing nothing can be the most dangerous thing. In this alternate path, Gi-hun doesn't become a hero. He becomes a witness who disappears and the world continues just as broken as before. And the scariest part? No one would ever know what really happened. 2. A silent billionaire living with blood money. Gi-hun won 45.6 billion won. That's enough money to live a comfortable life forever. But in this version of the story, he takes the money and disappears. No red hair, no mission to stop the games, just quiet escape. From the outside, it looks like he got lucky, but on the inside, it's a different story. That money didn't fall from the sky. It came with a price. The lives of 455 people who died in brutal games for the entertainment of the rich. Gi-hun didn't steal it, but he didn't earn it the usual way either. He survived it, and that kind of survival leaves scars. Even if he tries to start fresh, the memories stay. The screams, the gunshots, the friends he lost, they're part of that fortune now. Every time he spends a coin, he's reminded of where it came from. It's not just money anymore. It's blood money. People often think having more money means more happiness. But what if the money is cursed with pain? What if it becomes something you can't enjoy, no matter how rich you are? In this version of Gi-hun's life, he may have a full bank account, but an empty soul. And that's a kind of poverty no money can fix. 3. The next contestants, who would suffer in his place? If Gi-hun had stayed silent and disappeared, the Squid Game would continue. Quietly, secretly, and just as deadly. Every year, the same cycle begins again. Hundreds of people with nowhere left to turn get a mysterious card and an offer they can't refuse. But here's the hard truth. If Gi-hun doesn't try to stop the game, someone else has to suffer in his place. Maybe it's a mother drowning in debt, a young student who lost everything, a factory worker trying to support their family. Each one with a story, each one thinking they have no choice. The organization behind the Squid Game counts on people staying quiet. It feeds on desperation. As long as no one fights back, it will keep finding new players, new victims. Gi-hun knew what the game really was. That knowledge made him powerful. But in this alternate story, he gives up that power. He walks away. And by doing nothing, he unknowingly allows the next group to walk into the same nightmare he barely survived. This isn't just about one man's choice. It's about a system that wins when people stay silent. And if nobody speaks up, the next Gi-hun could be anyone, maybe even someone we know. The frontman's plan remains unbroken. In the Squid Game, the players aren't the only ones with secrets. Behind every mask and every order, there's someone pulling the strings. That someone is the front man. Cold, calculated, always in control. If Gi-hun doesn't return, the front man's plan stays untouched. No one asks questions, no one pushes back. He continues leading the games in total silence, hiding behind a black mask in a mountain of secrets. And the worst part? No one even knows he exists. Gi-hun was the only one who saw enough to start uncovering the truth. He knew there was someone behind the curtain, someone who used to be a player himself, someone who knows both sides of the game. But in this version, Gi-hun chooses to stay quiet. That gives the frontman more time, more freedom, and more control. While Gi-hun lives a quiet life, the frontman becomes even harder to catch, more careful, more dangerous. He keeps the VIPs entertained, runs the game smoothly, and ensures that no one gets close to the truth. And just like that, a man who once followed orders becomes untouchable. The show goes on, the blood keeps flowing, and the face behind the mask still hidden in the dark. Lost redemption. The hero who never was, Gi-hun, survived the Squid Game. But survival alone doesn't make someone a hero. What makes a hero is what comes after. The choice to do something with the pain, the trauma, and the truth. In this version of the story, Gi-hun never makes that choice. He walks away, no red hair, no warning calls, no final confrontation, just a quiet exit and a plane ticket. To the world, he's just another lucky man who won the lottery. But inside, he knows the truth, and he chooses to keep it to himself. This could have been his moment of redemption. He could have been the one to finally break the cycle, to shine a light on the darkness. He saw the system from the inside. He knew the players were real people, not just numbers. He had the chance to speak for them, but he didn't. And so Gi-hun becomes a different kind of character. Not a villain, not a savior, just someone who ran out of courage when it mattered most. A silent witness with blood on his hands and guilt in his heart. Sometimes the saddest stories are about those who had the chance to do something good and didn't. The hero who never was. 6. A different ending. Peace or regret. In this version of the story, Gi-hun gets on the plane. He flies to Los Angeles. He hugs his daughter. They smile. Maybe they go to the zoo, eat ice cream, take pictures like a normal family. On the surface, it seems like a happy ending. But is it really? Gi-hun may be far from the Squid Game, but it's not far from him. The memories follow. The guilt grows. He can't forget the people who didn't make it. Sang-woo, Se-byuk, Ali. Their faces are part of him now. He has the money, the freedom, even his family. But he also has the weight of silence. Every peaceful moment is haunted by a question. Could I have done more? This version of the ending asks a hard question we all face at some point. What matters more, comfort or conscience? Gi-hun chooses peace, but it's not the kind that brings rest. It's the kind that comes with looking away while others suffer. In the end, he's safe, but not whole. And that's the tragedy of this alternate ending. It's not loud or explosive. It's quiet. A man sitting in a warm room with a cold heart. Because sometimes regret doesn't scream, it whispers for the rest of your life. So what if Gi-hun never returned? Maybe he would have saved himself. Maybe he would have lost himself. Or maybe he was always meant to fall. What do you think? Could Gi-hun become a VIP? Would he betray his morals to protect the people he loves? Or would he rise up, tear it all down, and sacrifice himself in the process? Let's discuss in the comments. If you love this deep theory, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because Squid Game Season 2 is coming, and the secrets run deeper than ever. Until next time. Remember, in a world where survival is sold as entertainment, the real game is played by those watching.